Yes, people, back to the channel. Let's get into this one. The ambush, the chip. Should he reply? Does he need to reply? Why is Ambush doing this? I was watching Bouncer. I dip into Bouncer. I'm a bit 50-50 with Bouncer, but every so often, Bouncer says some interesting things, and he was basically alluding to Ambush needs this. Ambush is desperate. Ambush needs clout. And it got me thinking, like, when you're clashing certain, because Wiley said this before, I love Wiley, and so I'll always be using them. There's certain people Wiley could have clashed, but never. And Wiley's always the type of guy who will never shy from a clash. And I remember Wiley was kind of fishing for clashing people at one point. And there's a guy called JK, I think his name is, from Birmingham. And this was round about the time JK's kind of popping. He had one of his tunes called, I think it's Too Fake, that was blowing up in America because that one was on Power. It was like one of the ending credits or opening credits. It was a song that they played on Power. So he's kind of getting a buzz. And over here, he had a tune with Ed Sheeran and H. He was getting a bit of a buzz. And he was reaching out for Wiley, like, clash me, I will clash you. But Wiley didn't really respond. And I remember he basically alluded to the fact that there's levels. And if he was to give JK acknowledgement or respond, that would boost his JK's fan base. So you're kind of giving you're basically giving a helping hand to certain people, and when you're at a certain level, you have to watch who you give handouts to, because that's basically what you're doing. And then it got me thinking as well, because who do we know recently, in recent times, did a clash with Chip? And for me personally, I think he won the clash, but definitely if he didn't win the war, he won the battle. As in, his fan base grew. He's well known now from that clash, and still till now, he's still dropping bangers. He's still making views. He's still on grime. He's bought a house for $1 million. He's getting minimum $1 million views each time, and he's big in his city and in London. I was talking about Bugsy. That clash, for me personally, I feel like that clash is one of the best clashes in history, but also I think that clash kind of woke Chip up as well, because I feel like everyone keeps saying Chip can't run out of bars, Chip's this, Chip's that. I think Chip is good, but I feel like Chip is riding a wave still. It's kind of like when I look at Theo Walcott, when he was coming up through Arsenal, everyone's saying, oh, this is the next young guy, but he never went to that next level. And he always had that thing where he's young, Even when he was in his late 20s, people were still acting like he was the next thing, and he was still young, and he was still riding that young hot wave that he had. And I still feel like that's like that with Chip. A lot of people talk about Chip like he's 16 again, like he claims, I'm the grand scene savior. Like he's the grand scene savior and everything. Let's not forget, Chip's in his early 30s. People like Stormzy are younger than him, but they've done more, and he can sell out arenas more. And I feel like, even with Bugsy, I feel like you might say Bugsy never won, or Bugsy, it weren't Bugsy, it was more Chip that Who's kicked on though? If you're looking at Bugsy and Chip, who's kicked on? Who would you say can sell out arenas? I can honestly say Bugsy will sell out arenas. If you're not saying arenas here, he can definitely sell out arenas in Manchester. He's definitely done tours all over. Manchester's not a small town. Manchester's big. Manchester's basically like London. It's a big place, Manchester. And to sell out stadiums like Manchester Arena, they're big stadiums. You can't honestly say Chip's selling out Wembley, Chip's selling out tickets in Tottenham football stadium. You have to be honest. And then when it comes to the ambush, I get people, I get it. Ambush is reaching. Ambush is, sorry, I'm videoing a car in it, so just have to be careful. If Ambush basically needs a buzz right now, because his thing's kind of stalled. I think his last big tune would have been, was it Jumpy? I think it's Jump Remix or something, Jumpy Remix or something like this. It was called something like that, but it had Skepta and Chip on it, and that was his biggest tune. But then if we break down what is actually been said in Ambush's lyrics, about Chip's kind of not real, snitching allegations, which has been there's been claims of that before with him and Big Nasty fell out. And I remember it was basically about, I think Chip's mum called feds on Big Nasty and a couple of his mates, because I think they were hanging outside his house making too much noise, and I think Chip had to give a statement, and that's where it's all come from. To be honest, you can't really say Chip, alright, you can say he snitched or whatever, but Chip, I have to give it to him, he's never claimed to be a road guy. He's never been a road guy. He's always said he's done his A's and B's and he'll murk a guy with his pen. So you can't really wave that brush at him, because even with the Bugsy Malone beef, Bugsy is from the roads, and there was an incident where Bugsy rolled up to the studio that Chip was in and tried to intimidate him that way, and Chip never came outside, stuff like that. So if we're talking about road, Chip's never been on road. You don't expect Chip to be on road, But if we're talking about lyrically and that will be an interesting one. And for me and Ambush, like, Ambush ain't my cup of tea. Like, Ambush, you know, he's another one. He can't sell out arenas. He, you know, if it was down to him and Chip, body of work, who would I want to see, pay to see? I would pay to see Chip. But if I'm talking about overall, I'm not paying to see Chip. I'm not sitting there saying, oh, I've got Chip's new album on my phone. I don't even have, I might have 1 or 2 songs of Chip, but I ain't got millions of songs of Chip. Like, for me, Chip's not my cup of tea. So when it comes to discussions, I'll be interested to see what's been said and what how this clash goes. But to be honest, fam, I feel like Chip is overhyped personally, innit? So let me know in the comments what you think. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know.